Lynn, when you talk about migration to the cloud, and I'm hearing rapid migration, I'm hearing things like day zero and day one. Just talk to me about what you mean with all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, rapid migration is it's all about the compelling event, and we talk about day zero because it's that key starting point of getting you into the cloud. It's a it's a rapid migration for that very specific event. That could be a licensing renewal coming up. That could be a data center closure. That real business driver that gets you kick started on that journey. That's what we call day zero.
Okay, and so after day zero, you have day one. So what does that mean, and what needs to happen
Yeah.
then?
So day one is the area where many customers kind of get a little bit stuck. So you have all of the excitement and the momentum of the migration.
Yeah.
You have the business case follow through, and everyone taps themselves on the back that they finally got into the public cloud. They finally achieved that big milestone. But and that's day zero. Day one is okay. So now you're in there. You're in the public cloud. Now what?
Okay.
Really, day one is all about modernization, optimization, using the tools and the scale that you now have. Now you're in the cloud.
Okay. And actually, maybe come in just a little bit before that, and you talked about the cost optimization and the cost control, because being in the cloud, you'll build differently. It's not the same, is it?
No, it isn't. So we optimize for cost in the cloud, um, because you are now billed by the second or by the hour, not by the month or the year. It's not the same as having the large capital expenditure that you have in the data center. That has a very specific behavior that you need to focus on, because you're now paying at that fine grain level. How long stuff is running for, what resources that you have deployed really matter. So you don't want to be using or have deployed resources for longer than is absolutely necessary. So there's a lot of activity in cost optimization around designing for that cost optimization, designing for things to be scaled up, scaled down, turned off, turned on, so that you're not spending more money than you absolutely have to.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, that's talking about how you operate in the cloud in terms of frequency and how what you consume. Then you talked about the sort of the long-term modernization plan, and changing your tech and refactoring your technology and your applications. Just talk to me about all of that, because that feels like a big planning exercise to begin with.
Yeah, not so much a big planning straight away. I think you can certainly tackle that topic, um, piecemeal, like application by application, and working with application owners about what value that application is delivering for the business. So many of these applications will be already long-lived. Many will have very specific business purposes. So you really need to look beyond the infrastructure, at the applications, at what those are being used for, by end users within the customer. That modernization is all about focusing on architecting for the cloud. You've been given this huge toolbox of services, with near infinite scalability. How would you use that today? How would you use PaaS services or containers, or re-architect your application for serverless in order to make best use of that? Now that has all of the benefits that you went into the cloud for. It has cost saving associated with that. It has agility savings with that. Um, the part that Claranet really focuses on is about being proactive in day one about that, about going to those application owners, understanding those applications, and making sure that you're doing that, and not treating the public cloud like it's a data center and having VMs sit there for the next 5 years. If you do that, it's actually going to cost you more money to do that.
Okay. And what's the value that we're adding into the piece here by helping customers, look at their application estates. And I hear sometimes, people saying they don't necessarily know what they've got in their estates, or there are surprises along the way.
Yeah.
What do you find?
Yeah, we absolutely see that a lot in the engagements that we've done. We go through and we do that discovery of the infrastructure, of the applications, see what's actively used, look at applications, see what the applications are used for. Are they supported? And do they have customer support? Do they have vendor support? Are they heritage applications that are critical to the business but are in that sort of risk area where they might not have support anymore, but it's very difficult to remove? And what Claranet do is in our professional services engagements is come in, review that estate, review that risk, give options for modernisation, give options for adding in security into some of those riskier areas, and providing that comfort really, and that proactivity to that sort of project. It's, as I say, it's very easy to have those applications continue to live on in a prolonged way, whether or not they're actively used. So we make sure that it's a good understanding for both us in a support capacity, but also for our customers in understanding what their real application estate looks like and how that maps to their own business needs.
Sure.
I think that is not often done as an exercise as frequently as it should be.
Okay. And is there anything to say about team culture and ways of working, and the people side of things?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with moving to the cloud and gaining that agility, the operating model evolves over time. So there's a strategic idea, a doctrine, if you like, of what we call using appropriate methods. That means if you have an application that is cloud native, is agile, is at the cutting edge, then you'll want to use agile methods. You'll want to use DevOps. You'll want to use Lean. You'll want to use XP. And then you have the other end. You have the heritage applications, the applications that haven't changed in 10 or 15 years, aren't likely to change anytime soon, are running on VMs predominantly, need a great deal of governance and change control and management of risk. So on that end, your operating model is very different. It's very ITIL driven. It's very Six Sigma driven. The difficulty that our customers find, and many partners to an equal degree, is managing the balance of those. So managing that in an estate, it's okay to have agile operating model and an ITIL driven operating model coexist in the same environment. And that's an area that Claranet is very adept at, is very used to dealing with both of those operating models concurrently. And to that original point, one of the challenges customers face is transitioning from one to the other, transitioning from either having a classically ITIL model but wanting to be more agile, but also starting greenfield projects that are absolutely starting out agile, and then reaching the tipping point where they need that extra governance and they need that additional structure and risk management and compliance and everything else that's layered in when you're looking at some of the ITIL frameworks.
Well, some really excellent and interesting points there. Thanks, Liam, and yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you.